here with another stream. It is Tuesday, December 13th, 9:19 a.m. Central Standard Time. SBF has officially been arrested, you guys. Pretty crazy stuff. Before we get into those details, got to cover some basics. Crypto market cap has risen a bit here in the past 24 hours because CPI data came out lower than anticipated. Crypto market cap sitting at $875 billion. Bitcoin holding at 17,800. It tested $18,000, got rejected. ETH at 1332, BNB 277, Dogecoin 9.3 cents, Cardano 31.5 cents, Matic roughly 93.6 cents, Polkadot 529, Chainlink 698, Cosmos 977. Taking a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we are up for the day. The question is, will we continue onwards, or is this just more or less a pump and dump leading into the Federal Reserve meeting tomorrow, where we will potentially see 50 basis point rate hike? I think that's essentially what the market is anticipating. I think they might do 75 basis points, but what do I know? I don't have a crystal ball. As again, taking a look at the Bitcoin 1 hour chart, Bitcoin has deviated from this descending triangle that we drew recently. It obviously has broken out of it, but again, is this a fake out before the bears crash price back down below 17K? Time will tell. Again, looking at this huge spike in volume for Bitcoin, we are seeing the bulls starting to lose some momentum. Again, kind of their whole momentum kind of fizzled out right at 18K, and the bears since then have more or less been pushing the price back down towards 17,700. Right now we're holding just a below 17,800. Looking at the bigger picture, again, this is a nice fat green candle, but if this doesn't hold, if it gets bonked down to here, somewhere around here below 17.5, I don't think that's a great bullish case for the bulls in the market. I think that's pretty bearish if this wick uh, is pretty long, is what I'm trying to say. If this wick is gargantuan and we get bonked below, let's say 17.5, 17.4, 17.3, not gonna look too good on the daily chart. Again, DXY is trending downwards right now for the time being, considering the CPI print. If this continues downwards, we will see stonks in crypto rip. But if this starts trending upwards, maybe later on in the day today or sometime tomorrow, as a result of the Federal Reserve's rate hike, we should see stonks and crypto get smashed. Again, CPI came out lower than anticipated, 7.1%. All eyes are on the Fed. Bitcoin's over 17,900, highest print in over a month. Um, James from Invest Answers has some decent takes. That's why I do follow him over on Twitter. Justin Energy Gasoline, sorry, Energy, gasoline, electricity, and utility gas prices are in deflation. U.S. CPI data shows. Putting things into perspective, could we potentially see gas bottom soon in the next month or two, and then ultimately head higher? Maybe put in some new all-time highs. Could we see $5-6 a gallon here outside of Chicago in the near future? I'm not trying to be bearish or create FUD, but I have a feeling things are gonna skyrocket. I have a feeling gas prices and energy prices are gonna go considerably upwards here in a larger time frame. Putting things into perspective, back in 2010, Bitcoin fell below 20 cents. People thought it was the end. Back in 2014, Bitcoin fell below $400. People thought it was the end. 2018, Bitcoin fell below $4,000. People thought it was game over for Bitcoin. And today, you know, in this year, Bitcoin fell below $16,000 and people thought it was over. This is an opportunity, again, accumulating right around these prices. Historically, will put you pretty much in the green. DCAing right around 16K. I mean, it's over 75% off from its all-time high price. It's not to say it can't go lower, but I was making a considerable effort to stack just a little bit, even around 16K. I do think we will go lower, because I think right now there's too many bulls in the market. We Bitcoin has never really been through a hardcore recession, so it's tough to say whether 16, 15, or 14K is the bottom. It could be much lower, especially if things in the macro continue to drag out. Again, putting things into perspective, 5 years ago today, Bitcoin was trading at $17,415. Back then, there was no Lightning Network. The hash rate was 95% lower. No legal tender status anywhere in the world, not to El Salvador. No Bitcoin on the Tesla balance sheet. There was no Michael Saylor pumping Bitcoin and accumulating it. There's no PayPal slash Robinhood slash Cash App slash SoFi um, using Bitcoin. No Taproot. China was the biggest market. And continuing off of this, there was no ETFs, ETPs, ETNs. There was a third of as many users, no Coinbase IPO, almost no future market. Bitcoin Cash and Dr. Oops were on the tech. No Bitcoin conference. Yeah, gonna say we're in devalue territory right now. Again, that's why it's maybe not the worst idea to potentially DCA here at some point. I do think we will go lower, and that's why I am stacking cash on the side. Anticipation do go lower, can buy some more at lower prices. But again, DCAing now is maybe not the worst time. I would probably wait a day or two from now, maybe a few days, maybe wait a week. I don't know, not financial advice, but I think prices will come down again. So don't FOMO, because FOMO is very real. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Africans can now receive instant zero fee remittances in local currency from the EU and the UK through the Bitcoin Lightning Network. We kind of went over this last year when El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender. Talked about how companies like Western Union, all those remittance companies essentially charge people in other countries like El Salvador, Nicaragua, and even countries in Africa. They charge their users somewhere between 10 to 40% of the money they're sending as a fee. Now just let that sink in. Here with the Lightning Network, people will pay zero fees in remittances, um, and they will be able to just transact money as they should, free of charge. Here's an interesting theory. U.S. monopolizes fusion tech, 10 times lower money per megawatt, attracts manufacturing to U.S. U.S. adopts Bitcoin, dominates mining with homemade chips. Sorry, Russia slash China, your gold's no good here. Scarce Bitcoin or GTFO. U.S. industry dominates, attracts global capital. Debt trap escape. I think we're still in the debt trap. Obviously, this is a theory of what potentially may play out in the long term. It's a wild theory at that, but pretty interesting theory to entertain. Here we have a Bitcoin billboard in Kansas City saying $1 from 2010 buys you roughly $42 worth of goods today. Now, why? Or know why? It's because if you were unaware, the Federal Reserve during the peak of the pandemic essentially printed trillions and trillions of dollars, which devalued the dollar considerably. Not that the value uh, was was immense to begin with, but again, the dollar just keeps waning and waning in value as time goes on, as the Federal Reserve continues to print trillions of dollars. Here we have people saying a bull run's beginning, bear market's over. Again, I don't, I'm not trying to be bearish. I like Bitcoin, I like crypto, but I think people need a reality check. The reality is that we're going into recession, and if you think now is the time to go long on Bitcoin and throw all your money in the pot, you can do you. Not financial advice, but I'm going to personally wait and try and buy lower, because I think a lot of people right now, like this guy, are pushing the narrative that we're in a bull market. So you guys artificially pump the price, and then this guy takes profits on you, and then you get dumped on. So be careful about people spreading this message that we're in a full-on bull run now. Like, I think they're very detached from reality. Again, FOMO's real, and don't buy into it. Look at this. My wife and I spent 6 years saving for a house. We had 300K in the bank, fell in love with crypto, joined crypto Twitter, and the Bitcoin is going to 100K by end of year bus. Hopped on the bandwagon. I was so confident. 100K seemed like the low end back in 2021. Put all the 300K into Bitcoin at 60K. Wrote it all the way down. I can kind of relate. I didn't have 300K, nothing crazy like that, but I bought Bitcoin as high as 64, 65K, because I bought into the bandwagon that Bitcoin was going to hit 100K by the end of the year, and that was like a low ball estimate, kind of like how he's saying 100K seemed like the low end back in 2021. Sorry. Um, yeah, don't buy into the FOMO, guys. Buy when people are super fearful. It's like Warren Buffett says, um, be greedy when others are fearful. Be fearful when everyone's greedy. When there's blood in the streets, when we're seeing double digit drops out of crypto and stonks, that's the time you want to be DCAing or deploying a little bit of capital. Not when everyone's talking about it, like, oh my God, it's so expensive, blah, blah, blah. That's not when you want to be buying. But unfortunately, we all need to kind of like learn the hard way, more or less, and get wrecked at least one time or another before we start investing a bit wiser. Travis Kling says, okay, this is super shady. Binance just suspended USD withdrawals on ETH and BNB chains. Given the circumstances, the last thing you want to see. Binance, question mark, CZ underscore Binance, question mark. This guy says replacing the hot wallet. Crypto Twitter really running out of FUD, out of ideas for FUD pertaining to Binance. Again, this might be true, but Mike Alfred says, wait, so you think a bank run with a lack of liquidity is a positive thing? Oh my gosh, what WTF is up with these people? Like, even if they are maintaining, like, you should just get in the habit of taking your crypto out of these exchanges, you guys. After losing thousands, if not maybe like plus $10,000 over on Celsius and Voyager combined, I'm not leaving stupid amounts of money on exchanges anymore. I'm gonna keep at most maybe a few hundred on there, and then get in the habit of just taking that Bitcoin off after I hit a certain amount. Binance has endured $902 million of net outflows in the past 24 hours. Massive, you guys. The show continues. Again, that kind of spreads the narrative that could we be seeing a repeat of FTX, where we're seeing hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars leaving the exchanges in such a short period of time, and then there's going to be no liquidity, and then they shut off withdrawals across the board or something? I don't know. Again, not trying to spread FUD, but something to consider. And then we have this breaking news: Chinese police arrest 63 people accused of laundering $1.7 billion worth in cryptocurrency via Tether stablecoin. You don't say. How is this going to affect Binance and CZ? Are we going to see a huge liquidity crunch because of this? I'm not sure, but it's something to consider and ponder about. Like, I'm probably gonna move some Bitcoin off of my Binance account today if I can, because this is again, it starts as oh well, you're just fudding the crap out of this platform, blah blah blah, and then it cascades into something bigger. So if you have enough people looking at something a particular way, it's like destiny kind of plays out. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Move your funds from Binance immediately. It's not a test or joke. In other news, we have. Uh, in other news, Jesus Christ, I'm sick. Sorry. FTX was selling fake BTC to its users. Sam Bankman-Fried has just admitted to the massive fraud of all FTX customers. And now we're supposedly potentially seeing SBF getting arrested. USA Damian Williams earlier this evening. Bahamian authorities arrested Samuel Bankman-Fried at the request of the U.S. government based on a sealed indictment filed by the um, SDNY. We expect to move to unseal the indictment in the morning, and we'll have more to say at this time. Woohoo! Thank goodness for the U.S. State Department 1990 Bahamas extradition treaty. I guess Caroline rolled on him bad. So if you guys were unaware, Caroline Ellison, or the CEO of Alameda Research, was seen at a coffee shop not too long ago, I believe about a week or two ago, and people are speculating that she was speaking to the feds, i.e., the FBI, and she was ratting out on Sam, and that's the coffee shop was rather close to the office, so people are putting two and two together. SBF charged with wire fraud conspiracy, securities fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering, according to New York Times. Will Sam Bankman Fried be justly tried? Will he face the punishment that he should? Time will tell. Dylan LeClaire points out it's going to be very interesting what charges SBF faces depending on this. It'll be even more interesting to see if he starts leaking industry secrets. Is he going to potentially leak the idea or leak the theory slash confirm the theory that tax dollars that went to Ukraine potentially ended up in FTX's account, and then that money was taken out of FTX's account and then used to donate towards many Democrat candidates here in the past 2022 midterms. I don't know, but maybe he's gonna leak something about that. I don't know. So SBF FTX got arrested. That's great, but two things. I don't think he'll serve much, if any, jail time, so stop celebrating. He's being indicted for securities fraud. So what? Now all of crypto is 100% a security. Coin Bureau chimes in and says, wasn't there also DOJ wire fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering charges? Those could come with some serious jail time. I like the positivity, guy. I like the truth that you're putting out there, but reality is he probably isn't going to spend very much time in prison, if at all, considering all the connections he has between Maxine Waters, Joe Biden, and many others. I don't see it happening. He also happened to donate to some Republicans. I need to make that clear, but like 90 to 95% of the funds went solely to Democrats. So make of that what you will. Not good. I hate the corruption. Whether it's coming from the right or left, I hate it all. But continuing on this, it's so ironic that SBF was arrested a day before the congressional hearing that he's now excused from attending due to his sudden arrest. But I guess we can consider that coincidental. Yeah, interesting point, Alexander Lorenzo. I like to hear a variety of perspectives and opinions on what's taking place with the whole SBF getting arrested, whether he'll face true criminal punishment or not. Again, is this is this all a ruse? Is this all essentially a setup to kind of make people perceive that he's going to be prosecuted, but because they prosecuted him earlier, because he didn't have to testify, he didn't have to reveal certain juicy details with, again, maybe the people he was funding, the people he's associated with, people scratching his back, people that he's scratching the back of. I don't know. It's all kind of interesting to see play out. Write this down. 2022, the year we got wrecked by idiots. Are you okay? No, I'm invested by an industry run by effing clowns. Isn't that the truth? Uh, Red flag. Epstein and Gates funded MIT's Media Lab developing CBDC Project Hamilton, while SEC Chair Gensler or Gary Gensler was the lab's senior advisor and taught economics with Glenn Ellison, the father of SBF's girlfriend and co-CEO of Alameda Research, Caroline Ellison. The plot thickens. And I'm sure we're going to learn more and more about this as time goes on. So stay tuned. These people are gaslighting you right in your face. More deaths among people who took a medical procedure. Not a reason to avoid medical procedures, experts say. Again, I have to be kind of vague because otherwise, algorithm slash YouTube will censor the crap out of this. Holy shit, it's an actual article. It's not the Babylon Bee. Why people who took the medical procedure dying from C19 doesn't mean the medical procedures are ineffective. Again, gaslighting you. Good to see that Robert W. Malone is officially back on Twitter. He, just like Peter McCullough, were censored by big tech over on Twitter. I'm kind of let's see. Is Peter McCullough still on here? Is he back on? Let's see. Oh wow, he's back too. Okay, well it seems to be that Elon Musk is. Pardon me. One moment. Sorry guys, I'm still a bit sick. It's good to see that Elon Musk is putting real doctors back on the platform that were censored by big tech. Again, this whole narrative that let's save the environment. Well, 1.6 billion disposable masks entered the ocean back in 2020, and it will take roughly 450 years for them to biodegrade. Waste from throwaway masks created massive plastic waste around 7% the size of the Great Garbage Plastic Patch. If you're unaware of what it's basically huge swath of garbage in, I believe, the Pacific Ocean in the middle of like nowhere. And it just kind of shows you how much trash we throw into the sea and stuff like that. Whether it's degradable or not, like 450 years, damn, that's gonna take quite some time. And they're coming for your pets, again, they want to save the environment, but they don't give an F about your pet. Our pets are part of the climate problem. Like, are you kidding me? These tips can help you minimize their carbon prints. This is the clown world we live in, you guys. Now they're pushing the narrative, depopulation narrative. Science proves kids are bad for the earth. Morality suggests we stop having them. Like, what are we seeing, you guys? We're already seeing dropping birth rates. We're seeing a rise in stillborns and miscarriages. Um, I don't even know what people are thinking. Like, do they just want less people so it's easier to control us? There's less people willing to fight back. Like, I don't get it. Peterson making a valid point. Oh, look, video from a flood somewhere in the world. Give me all the power now, and that's true. These climate activists are using the excuse for climate change to take extreme and authoritarian measures to stop said climate change. Um, Various means we're talking about, they're telling you to um, they're gonna show you ways to minimize your pet's carbon paw print. Like, they're telling you not to have kids. is they're bad for the environment, like, and they're telling you to just buy an EV if you can't afford $5, $6 a gallon, because EVs, are so great for the environment. Let's completely forget about the massive amount of energy required to extract said rare earth metals that are used to build the batteries of these EVs. It's complete lunacy, and you know what? Here we go. The corporate media again tried to cover up the S3X UAL assault of children. They're saying it's a big lie coming from the right. And here we have Ludan superintendent spokesman criminally indicted following R R4P3 cover up. Again, need to be kind of careful how I say things because YouTube will flag the video. And as we discussed, Yoel Roth yesterday was we kind of discussed how he was suggesting kids slash minors should have access to hookup apps and stuff like that. Here we have a NPC defending the guy, saying Elon Musk is deliberately putting G4Y, a man's life, in danger. This guy says, through the magic of progressive ideology, most basic levels of accountability become a hate crime, which is why elites want it installed at every level of every institution. That's true. It's disgusting what these people are defending. It's like, do you know what you stand for? Like, I don't. If you did an ounce of research, maybe you'd probably back off that position. And just showing you what a creep this guy Yoel Roth, who was super pro censorship, when he was a big figure at Twitter. Now he's not. How did a creep who wrote a PhD thesis about Grindr, says he hates kids, sympathize with teachers having S3X with students, wanted to give kids access to corn, called Trump and GOP literal NAZIS. He colluded with the FBI and then proceeded to only ban conservatives. How did he become Twitter's chief censor? I'm wondering if I wonder if Elon Musk has a good answer for this. And he says, "Good question." And it's like, why are they allowing certain people like this in the positions of power? Is this the future that's is this the future you guys want? Is this the future they're trying to put forward for us? This guy, former top Twitter official Yoel Roth, forced to leave home due to threats amid Twitter files released. Well, I'm sorry, but you should be on the run. The things you wanted to do with kids, the things that you were saying, I'm sorry, but they're unacceptable. That's disgusting. Um, in my opinion, not much short from Ped. Let's just leave it at that. Left and right want you to think Kanye is crazy because they want you to discount everything he said that was true. And you know what? The political correctness is out of control, you guys. Political correctness is fascism pretending to be manners. It's coming from George Carlin, great comedian. He had a great perspective on how things run in this world. I'd highly recommend you check out a few of his segments. This is nothing but the truth, and I love that people like him, comedians like him, aren't afraid to express what they really believe. Each dot that you're seeing flowing from the U.S. to Ukraine represents $100,000 in U.S. taxpayer dollars, according to the creator of this highly illustrative graphic. Again, it would be kind of interesting to see that money flow into FTX and then that money flow back into the U.S. into certain political candidates. But I'm sure we won't see an infographic on that. But look at that. Look at the U.S. aid to Ukraine. Looks like over half of it is essentially in military aid to fight off the Russians. Again, just another ruse. They're playing both sides. They World Economic Forum has people positioned on both sides of the war. For example, in the West, World Economic Forum is buddy buddy with Macron from France, friend with the new PM of the UK. also buddy buddy with Trudeau, and um, Klaus Schwab of the WF has talked about how Putin at one point was a young global leader. He's praised Xi Jinping and his authoritarian policies over in China, etc. Not good, not good. So I think we're getting played with this war personally, but let me know what you guys think down below. I'll leave you guys with this. Look at this. We just had an 820 credit score customer get quoted 8% from Capital One and 10% from Ally for a car loan. I've never seen that before. So doesn't look like interest rates are going down anytime soon, especially with the Federal Reserve announcing that they will continue rate hikes into 2023. Potentially no rate cuts going into 2024, or at least until 2024. Time will tell with how this plays out. Tomorrow, we finally get a announcement from the Federal Reserve as to whether they're going to be doing a 50, 75, or 100 basis point rate hike. Um, Only time will tell. I think markets will tank considerably here in the next month or two, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. If you did, please like and subscribe, hit notification bell to be notified when we go live next. Please share with your friends and family if you guys found today's video entertaining, educational, any of the above. Until tomorrow, you guys take care and invest